Howdy folks, and welcome back to Reading Held Hostage. My name's Blue and I love to read.
My name's Justin and I am so happy.
Yeah? Tell me why.
It's the last Lorien book.
It is. And even I don't want to really do it.
Is it because it's so bad?
Yeah, well that and I'm reading The Songbird, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes right now, which is like a really good book.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, I'd way rather be reading that right now than this.
The shitty shit.
Yeah, but you know, it is what it is, and it's the last one. We're gonna be done for like ever and ever for these.
Yeah.
Because there are more books.
Unless we get an uproar that they want the novellas or what novellas.
Novellas, yeah.
It's not happening.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even think that would make me want to read them.
Yeah.
I read those once. Like, I read these books. This is probably the 4th time I've read the full series.
Yeah. Cringe.
Well, it's probably also why I'm so friggin' tired of them anyways. But I had the same opinions as before, where I think John's kind of a But anyways, what happened?
Bitch baby boy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. What happened last time?
We need to start making the intro like a minute so we can just curse right into it.
Curse right into it?
YouTube.
It's already like a minute now.
Okay. Fucking bullshit and dicks and balls and stuff happened.
You told them.
I don't remember.
You don't remember anything?
They're gonna steal a warship.
Yes.
That was where we left off?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
John's kind of going crazy right now, and they're all like, okay, I mean, most of them are like, well, just let him do his thing then.
He has no remorse or,
yeah,
like, care about casualties or...
Yeah, kind of including his own team.
He's going real great. Omni-Man right now.
I don't know what that means. Are you going to explain it to me?
It's from Invincible.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I referenced Invincible when 9 and 5 were fighting.
That's why I said Omni-Man.
Okay, but remember, I couldn't watch that show because it was too sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll hop into it. You're right. So they're currently like the guard and Sam and Adam and Lexa. That's the team right now.
Do they have any of the humans?
No humans.
Okay. Besides Sam.
Yes, besides Sam, but he's part of the OG.
Yeah.
OG group. So they're like, again, let's just recap, on their way to steal the warship.
Sam still has a gun, right?
What do you want me to say, dude?
Get a fuck. If there is nothing we learn from this book, is have a gun.
I'm on your side.
Because they've killed Moogs with guns.
They've actually probably killed more Moogs with the guns.
Yes.
And I don't understand how these blasters work that the Moogs have, because they act like they're the most blah 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 things in the whole world, and then like they'll just get shot by like 15 of them. And they're like, oh, that kind of hurt. Like, what?
It feels like it's just fully not designed for their anatomy, you know?
Yeah.
Like, this would be deadly to something else, but it's not designed for the anatomy.
Yeah, well, that makes sense until, like, Daniela's dad, back at the very beginning of that last book, was like, 1 shot, 1 kill, done.
Yeah.
With a blaster.
Like Tom Berenger.
So I don't really, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me personally.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so that's what they're doing is John's
do you know what they remind me of?
Who?
The guns.
Blasters?
The guns,
okay.
yeah. The weapons from Star Wars, the Geonosian weapons, where they, like, send out that green pulse.
I believe you.
Okay, cool.
Every time I feel like I know things about Star Wars, I feel like I haven't even seen all of the Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
Which I have. I just never feel like I did.
Did you watch the last one?
The one that came out with the Kylo Ren stuff? We saw that in
Kylo
theaters.
Ren and...
Yeah, the
very last one of that series.
Yeah, we saw that one in theaters.
That was
together.
so weird.
It was really bad, too.
Yeah.
Okay, but this is not a movie review podcast, Justin.
It could be.
Yeah, I want to do
doing
Cats.
Something more fun.
Like Cats?
No.
Guys, Justin's really into Cats the musical now.
Not.
I keep listening to it because there's one song, Memories, obviously, that I love. And every time I listen to it, Justin's like, so what the hell is a Jellicle cat?
It does. The thing is, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Which is why it'll be really funny when we review it.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, we are John's perspective. So, they haven't told any government that they're going to steal this warship.
Yeah, they're just like, hey, we're going there. It's fine.
Yeah, we're going there. We're going to sneak in. We're going to take their force field box things.
Yes. Well, technically, they are taking the force field box things.
For sure.
If they are on the ship, they are technically being taken with the ship.
For sure. And the thing is, though, is that this is a joint government thing. So they're part of the U.S., obviously, but the Canadian team is supporting them, like, from the outside. So that's kind of like 2 governments you fuck up. But anyways. So Adam, like, is like, hey, that sounds really cool, but, like, BT dubs, there are thousands of Mogadorians on board. Or at maximum, like, or minimum, like, 1,000.
Yeah.
He's like, there's a lot. And
yeah, what do you think the minimum crew of a full-ass warship is?
Literally.
Dog?
And plus the Trueborns on board.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, John, like, high-key seems kind of crazy.
Hey, this seems super stupid, actually.
And John's like, dude, no worries. Like, I'm a little suicidal. So trigger warning, it's kind of, I mean, I feel like that's implied with this. Trigger warning. Just talk of that. No actions or anything. And he's
ideation.
Like, yeah, no worries. I'm a little suicidal. But, guys, literally don't worry. I'll have 2 Chimera with me. Okay? So he's like, plus, like, 6 and Adam will be up there doing the force field box thing. So his plan
is to take over it himself.
Yeah, 3 of them go up, plus 2 Chimera. Mm-hmm. So it's John, because John can now fly and invisible. So basically, like, he's got, like, a force field vest on. Mm-hmm. So he can get through the force field. Are you there? Mm-hmm. Okay. Adam and 6 are hugging him.
Are holding on to him with the dogs.
Well, they're like little bugs in his pocket right now. Okay. But yes, it's Dust and Bernie. Yeah. BK. And he's like, okay, so while they are doing, Adam and 6 are doing the box thing, I'm taking the Chimera and I'm going to kill everybody. That's his plan. And everyone's like, hey.
Bad plan.
No. And while most of the warriors, like Mogs on board, are Vatborn, still thousands upon thousands.
Yeah, they're still dudes.
Yeah, it's under 10,000 between like 2 and 10.
It's like the thing where like someone's like, oh, I could take on like 300 like kindergartners at the same time. It's like,
that's a lot.
No, you can't, because there's so many of them.
That's a lot. So this is what they do, and Ella's gonna keep them in the loop with like the telepathy stuff. So they get up in there. They land, and there's a whole fleet of skimmers, so there's about 50 Mogs just in the landing dock. And John, he's invisible, so he starts taking them out pretty quick, and he takes them all out. He didn't want anyone to see, but he stole, like, 5's armband thing with the blade on it that killed 8.
The Assassin's Creed knife.
Yes, which is apparently a pretty successful blade, because he kills all of them.
I mean, it's just a punch blade.
Yeah, punch knife like my dad's got.
Yeah.
BK and Dust get like released after the Mogs are dead, and John's like, okay, I'm just gonna go for it. Chimera, stand behind me, because if anything gets behind me, I'm fucked. Yeah. So his plan is, I'm just gonna go for it. Chimera behind me.
Protect my 6. I'm blasting these fools.
Yeah, and he does. He goes crazy. He starts killing everybody with no like disregard for anything besides the fact that he was like, I should probably keep the ship together.
Yeah, if you're going to take over the ship, you don't sink the ship.
So then we're on to 6.
Or crash it into a major metropolitan city.
Yeah, so he's kind of just like so crazy right now. And again, he didn't tell either government this was a plan.
They're over Niagara Falls right now, right? Mm-hmm. Still a lot of fucking people.
It's not major, but it's still a lot of people.
Yeah.
6 and Adam are like, wow, I hope they're okay. Mm-hmm. And the sirens go off, so the skimmers that are outside start to return, but Adam throws up the door really quickly, which like makes them explode, and nobody can get in. And John pops up and is like, hey, what's up, guys? Like,
that's like someone chasing after you, and you shut the door right in front of them, and they hit it.
Yeah, I feel like I did that to a couple cousins or siblings when I was little. John heals himself, and Adam's like, hey, bro, did you kill them all already? And John's like, no.
Most of them.
Most of them. We're both just regrouping. I need some grenades or something to blow up a bunch of folks. So,
I want to tell you a fun fact about Star Wars again.
Okay.
So, they're...
no, actually, no, I'm just kidding.
So, besides the Death Star operators, the highest kill count is held by a robot, an R2 unit.
Yeah.
That crashed 2 Imperial ships together and killed everybody on board.
Oop.
It was like, I think it's like 2,000 to 5,000 confirmed kills.
Yeah.
And it's a robot. It's just like a little robot.
Good, he don't have the emotions. He's like, alright, cool. Works for me.
And he's a good guy. He has the
highest. There are no good guys.
Yeah, true. He has the highest kill count of any of the rebels.
Any of the
by far,
guys too.
Yeah.
That's
well,
funny.
besides the operators of the Death Star.
Yeah, well, that doesn't even count.
And the Death Moon or whatever was in
the originals.
No, the newest series.
I didn't pay attention to anything in the new series.
Yeah.
This is feeling very Star Wars, but I don't think any of the Star Wars characters would do something as dumb as John's doing right now.
Anakin's pretty fucking dumb in Star Wars.
That's true.
Like in the extended universe, he's pretty fucking stupid.
Yeah, I believe that.
And does many war crimes. One of my favorite things. Okay.
I love the war crimes Anakin does.
No. You go and you watch the Clone Wars TV show and take a shot every time Anakin does a war crime. You will die.
You will be dead.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me. It's like
false surrendering, killing hostages, like...
Yeah, it drives me crazy because they're always like, and we never saw it coming. It's like, what?
Well...
with any bad guy from anything
Yeah.
ever. Including real human bad guys. Where was I? Okay, so John's back. He's like, we're regrouping. I need something to blow up. So he grabs like a barrel of like gasoline.
Oh, he got the red barrel from the video games.
Yeah, but he covers it with ice until it's unrecognizable. Mm-hmm. And then Six and him invisibly move it towards like the ton of Moogs waiting in the stair.
Not
they know
suspicious
where he is.
at all.
No, it's all invisible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they turn it visible and they start shooting at it.
Yeah.
And of course that blows up, killing almost all of them.
Yeah.
Then they hit into the brig.
Right foot creep walking with that heater.
What are you saying? I don't know what that is.
It's a, never mind.
Okay.
Never mind.
But
you're not hip with the kids.
I'm not hip with the kids. I don't think you're hip with the kids
I'm probably not either.
It kills almost all of them, and they head into the bridge, and see the captain, like, talking to Fiery Dunra, who's basically like, it's your fault this is happening. We're not sending... This is your fault because you moved, and beloved leader doesn't help for disobedience like that.
These are the Moogs saying this to her?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Fiery is saying this to the leader of the ship.
Oh.
She's like, what do you mean you want reinforcements? You're the one who fucked this up.
Okay, so she's on the phone. She's on the...
Yeah.
She's FaceTiming, like, nah.
Like, fuck that, no. And everybody in the bridge is a true-born Mogadorian, so they just start killing them. Mm-hmm. And as John goes to kill the last of the Moogs, Adam stops him and is like, hey, wait, don't kill that guy. And the guy's like, no, like, seriously, like, I'm at your mercy. Like, please don't kill me.
He's surrendering.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're in John's POV now. Apparently the Moog's name is Rex, and he has helped Adam...
Whose POV were we just in?
Six's.
Okay.
So
she's just watching...
John do this.
Massacre people.
Yeah.
That's the last couple chapters.
Pretty much. Rex has helped Adam escape twice from places he was being, like, held hostage in the Dulce base, as well as the island facility where the Chimera were. Mm-hmm. And Adam has also helped Rex stay alive.
Yeah.
And,
so when they, like, glassed, Lorien, did they, like, take any hostages or...
No.
Nothing? No, like, experimental...
I mean, at least from our knowledge, no, because basically they went straight from Lorien, like they sucked the planet drive resources and headed towards Earth.
Okay.
They're just a little bit slower than, well, not a little bit, 10 years slower than the ship. And the Mogadorian fleet now has no fuel to get anywhere else.
Okay, so they have to mine Earth to get anywhere else.
Colonize Earth. So this Rex person has held, like, reservations about the Moog ideals, and he finally felt like that was a time he could surrender in peace. Plus, like, he works with Adam to kill the rest of the skimmers and the ground troops, and Adam is like, no, seriously, like, he's a good guy. And they're like, I don't know about that, but Ella's like, don't worry, I read his mind. He has literally no bad intentions. Yeah.
That's always good to have a mind reader on staff to be like, oh, this guy's chill.
But it does kind of feel like a like a stupid plot device where you're like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, can't just get them to trust a different Mogdorian. Like, Ella has to be like, no, seriously, he's good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Lucy, I'm going to keep going. And Ella's like, okay, I'm going to turn the Lorelite stone at the falls back on. So now it can be
Here's the thing, though. If she didn't read their mind and been like XYZ, we would have been like, why didn't you just read his mind?
True.
Sure.
But then again, I think things like, personally for me, when I'm reading a story and there's something like mind reading or time travel, it feels like a cop-out to me. Kind of like how in any telenovela, there's always a twin plot line. Yeah. It's like, okay, well, like...
my twin died.
Yeah, and then they're not dead. And then they're secretly my husband's brother. And it's like, wait, what? What? So it feels like that. So it's like, well, I can just go back in time and do something. And it's like, well, come on. Then why'd you write so much shit? Yeah. So...
like the time turner in Harry Potter is like, why didn't you just fix everything with that?
The memes of Suzanne Collins writing the Hunger Games.
Oh, I love that.
Or the catchy,
yeah, Albus is the bad guy.
Yeah, what do you mean? What do you mean she turns back time? No, she just dropped the classes. She's like, have you ever heard of a paradox? I'm like, she would. I have a lot to say about Suzanne Collins right now, so we should probably move on. Ella's like, John, you'll need my drain in. And John's like, no, I'm not sure I want it yet. But she's like, just make a weapon that's charged.
You need my Drano.
Yeah. But the reason she reacted to Lorelite Stone is because the Niagara Falls Stone is going to be a hub for them to distribute the force field boxes to the other governments so that they can do a combined attack on every warship. Okay. John gets a call from Lawson, and Lawson's like, go ahead, Joseph.
Who placed these stones?
The entity.
Cool.
Yeah.
So the entity grew these stones.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. And John gets a call from Lawson, and Lawson's like, hey, what the fuck's going on? And John was like, 2 birds, 1 stone, motherfucker, like... yeah. And Lawson's like, well, I mean, I guess. Okay. And he's like, we don't have a ton of progress here on the force field situation, like, can you do another one? Can you take another ship?
Can you just take them all out, actually?
John's like, maybe. But again, he hasn't slept in like 4 days. Mm-hmm. He's so drained out from this fight, his lumen won't work anymore. Yeah. Which is like the one fucking power he's actually got. He's then like, Ella, he's
his
like...
own power.
Yeah, his own power.
Besides telekinesis.
Yeah, pretty much it's just those 2 and the talking to animals. Yeah. Those 3 were like his original 3. And then really everything else is something he gets from somebody else. Yeah.
Did he not get talking animals to someone? No, he did that before meeting.
Yeah, before he met Nine. Yeah. Which, because remember, he was like jealous that Nine could do it too.
Why can you talk to animals?
I was like, shut the fuck up. He informs Ella that she should be the one to direct the distribution of the devices from the Niagara's plate.
Is it because she can see the fucking future?
And he's gonna head back to go grab another warship by himself. Yeah. And he zooms off and he quickly realizes like his vest with the force field device is busted. So he has to go get another one at Patience Creek. And shit actually kind of starts here. Every time I read it, I'm like, oh, didn't see that one coming. What's your guess on what's coming, if you had any guess?
Fucking Ra just jumps out. Boom! Yeah.
No, I mean, you're close, but no. He stops up at Patient Creek to grab one, and when he gets there, he notices an SUV, and there's, like, Mark James, who looks really weird. And Mark James goes, I'm sorry they made me. And as soon as he says that, 3 tendrils of, like, black ooze stab into his body at various places. Cool. Instantly taking away his legacies. And Phoebe's like, yeah, we totally did make him do that. And the ooze is really nasty and, like...
hell yeah, that was me, baby.
Hell yeah. It hardens at his touch, like cutting his hands up. Yeah. And it takes away his legacies. Another augmented Moog pops up, and he can travel through the shadows. Then there's a magic one. He's thin. This is how John remembers him. He calls him Shadow Moog, Thin Moog, Piken Moog, and Fury.
Piken?
Yeah. I'll get there one sec. The thin one controls Mark. And then Phoebe pulls out a collar made out of that magic tree, the noose that fucked up raw.
Mm-hmm.
And she wraps it around his neck with Mark holding the end, and he has to crawl around. And then we go to 6.
John does?
John has to crawl around.
Well.
John's got the ooze in him with no legacies.
Okay.
Which is gross. Justin, your phone is talking. 6 is furious that John just flew off, and 9's like extra pissed, and they're all like, dang, this is really stupid. Like, I'm furious. But they realize they have a pretty big job to do in the distribution of the force field things.
9 can fly?
Uh-uh.
Who do you said just flew off?
No, John flew off. They're pissed that John flew off.
Oh.
9 should be able to fly. It matches his personality.
Yeah.
6 uses Sam's little phone force field thing on an SUV to, like, test it. Do you remember that? Sam was, like, talking to the electronics. And it's not a pretty entrance, but it is able to get through the force field.
Mm-hmm.
So his phones work. And he like, calls him... 6 calls Sam. Mm-hmm. There's too many friggin' characters, man.
7, 8, 9.
Well, not 8. And she's like, hey, BT Dubs, your phones work. And he's like, OMG, that's awesome. Like, this is great. And then he's like, we're under attack. Which, like, would be pretty not great to hear.
Yeah.
Then we're back to John.
Hey, phones work. They're here.
Gulp. John has the noose around his neck. Mark is holding him like a leash, and he's crawling with, again, Fury's tentacles in him.
Mm-hmm. So Mark's getting puppeted.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mark is holding John's leash.
Yeah. But he's... I mean, if you're into that, I can't say nothing. And it's cutting his neck often, but the pain's not as bad as the pain from the, like, tentacles. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I fucked up. It's like, yeah, you did. You did.
Yeah.
100%.
You went, oh, what's that?
Mark is under the tall Moog's control and can't do anything, and he sees a scary-looking Piken Moog. So this Moog is like 8 feet tall, hunched over,
cool,
with the bottom half of a true-born Mogadorian and the top half of that Piken animal. So it's just like their medium-sized, like, attack creature.
Okay.
I just think of it as like any generic
giant wolf monster.
More like lizard wolf.
Okay.
But yeah, something like that. So it doesn't talk because its upper whole half is a Piken.
Yeah.
Which is pretty gross, personally. I don't like it at all. The Piken Moog heads down to, like, wreak havoc, and they take their time, like, taunting John. Like, they're like, we're better than you. Like, look at how good we are. And eventually, this taunting ends up with Mark being killed, which is sad. He can't do anything, and he does try to fight Fury, because he's still got Five's pokey knife, but it doesn't work. Her black, like, he's able to, like, cut off the tentacles, but they just keep coming right back. And again, he's lost his legacies.
Yeah.
I personally think Mark being killed is pretty sad. He's
just a dude.
He gets a tentacle right through the chin up into his brain, which is not a great... I mean, instant.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that one... It doesn't make me cry or anything like how Sarah's death cried, or how I cried at Sarah's death, but I only cried at Sarah's death because they made BK really cute.
Yeah. He said, I'm sorry.
He said, I'm so sorry. And that's not fair. He doesn't deserve it.
He didn't do nothing.
He's
just a little guy.
I got tears in my eyes again.
Let's do the time warp again.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So explain why you did that?
Because I didn't want to record more yesterday.
You got EP.
I got too tired.
So we're back again today. So even though it's been literally a single second for the folks listening, it's been 24 hours for us. But we're going to go. Remember, John's, the base is being attacked, and John's like with pokies in his arm, or in his body with the noose on his neck.
Yes.
Okay.
Good summary for the people that were listening.
Yes. So John's trapped again, but he realizes he can telepathically let Sam know, like, what's going on.
He realizes he has one of his powers.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe like the
Oh,
telepathy.
he did get his powers taken away from him. Okay.
Yeah, the legacies are gone, but somehow he's got the telepathy.
Yeah.
Maybe because that's one of the ones the Mogs don't know about, so she wouldn't know to target that one.
How would they not know about that one, though?
Remember, Ella was keeping the telepathy on the DL the whole time she was with Ra.
But how does Ra not know about it if he's an elder from Lorien?
Why would he know about it?
Because he's an elder from Lorien.
But, like, he doesn't know what everybody's got.
Okay.
Yeah. So, he's
It feels like that would be... Like, all the powers would be mostly understood on Lorien.
No, they are, but Ra doesn't, like, know that Ella has telepathy. And if he didn't know Ella had telepathy, how would he know that John inherited it?
But I'm saying that he knows about telepathy and should have designed the weapon around that.
Yeah, but of course he thinks he's better than everybody, so why would somebody have, like... How would somebody be able to outsmart him? It's the narcissistic complex, you know, like... Because
you're leaving openings, that's how.
But, like, again, he can leave openings because he's better than everybody else. Nobody else is going to figure it out.
Yeah.
So he warns Sam that, like, the only other entrance is blocked by, like, a fleet of the Mogs, of the Vatborn, and they have to get out. And as Fury keeps dragging him through the base, like, things are getting fucked up. And the new human guard come through, and they want to help. 2 of them die. Fleur and Bertrand are quickly demolished. And Fury uses John's legacy in this fight because she's able to use, like, the tentacles.
So she's plugged into his powers.
Yeah, so she's able to, like, go invisible. Things like that.
Terrifying.
Yeah, no bueno. But he does realize, like, she is using his legacies, but not as somebody who's, like, had them for a long time. Like, she's just like, I don't know, maybe I'll go invisible. Like, she's not, like, responding with telekinesis the way one of them would.
Yeah.
There's fighting, and then he hears, like, Sam, like, out in the world. He's like, shit, Sam, I said run. Which, might I just say, is the exact warning Ella gave to Sarah. And Sarah chose not to listen.
Yeah. And literally the same way, too.
Literally.
Telepathically under a Mog's control.
Yeah.
Telling them to run.
So, I'm just saying that John can put the blame on Ella if he wants, but Sarah made her own choices.
Yeah.
Anyways, Sam is really smart. He opens Five's cell. 5 is still there.
Okay.
But he was in his cell. And 5's like comes out and he's like, oh, baby! And he's like so fucking ready.
Kinda Barty. He's just like a barbarian where he's just like, I don't care who it is.
Yeah. And they act like he's like a sociopath in the book. I'm like, he's just a kid.
Put me in front of him.
Yeah.
Put me in front of him.
He just doesn't like, he's just a kid. He's been brainwashed by 2 different sides.
Yeah.
He's just a kid. Like, let him go. But we're gonna go to 6 for a minute. They're rushing back to the secret base, all freaked out, and Adam pops in and is like, hey guys, Mogs are showing this. And it's a live broadcast of Ra, who looks like healed and a lot better. And he's like, yo, humans, what the fuck? I'm the best. I gave you so much extra warning and you're still fucking shit up.
Do you think that's picking up?
Bruno? Probably, but who cares?
Bruno is screaming at the door. This is one of the first times we're recording
in a
room that closes.
Yeah.
And they're not happy about it.
We're practicing for when we have the baby and they're going to be locked out for a little bit. And it's not going great.
It's not going well at all.
But Ra's like, you didn't listen to my demands, and he commands all of his warships to open fire on the cities. But I will say that gave them like 50 hours for evacuation.
Yeah.
Which is better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Back to John. 5 is fucking Fury up. She's still got her nasty tentacles in John, and the noose is still on him too, but like, you know, eventually he's like pushed away from Fury, so like nobody's holding the noose anymore, so he can take that off.
The thing about flying too is that you don't need the ground for your physical attacks.
Yeah.
So, like, humans need gravity and the ground to punch.
As do the Mogs.
As do the Mogs, as do the Loriens that can't fly.
Yeah. Not 5.
Not 5. He's hitting. He's hitting no matter what.
But he doesn't have his, like, nasty eyeball balls. So he's turning into the tile of the floor.
Pretty good.
Yeah, still pretty good. So again, John's able to get
that
the
actually
noose
might
off.
be better for like hand to hand because the force when it transfer through the tile would crack it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they put in bulletproof
glass.
Bulletproof vests.
Kevlar.
Yeah.
Glass.
No, they have like ceramic plates.
Yeah. Well, which is why they're only really effective like once, maybe twice if you get shot in a different spot.
And it's like a pistol, not a
like massive weapon. The Thin Moog, who's able to like control people's mind, tries to gain control of Five, but John's able to warn him, and Sam comes up to the Thin Moog and headshots him with a gun. Don't worry, Sam had a gun.
Good.
I mean, finally.
Let me get rid of this problem, actually.
We're done with that. Phoebe realizes she's been beaten. She starts yelling for an extraction, trying to get, like, John to, like, stay in her black ooze. But Five just, like, goes crazy, like, ripping the shit up. Like, there's no way for the...
Clawing at him.
But he's, like, playing with her, which John's like, just kill her already. But, like, again, Five...
I'm having fun.
So much fun. And then the Shadow Moog...
I'm like a dog chasing cars.
The Shadow Moog comes and grabs Phoebe with Five still attached to Phoebe and disappears. So the three of them have disappeared. Sam comes up and is like, you do not look good. You need to heal. John's like, I am. It's taking me a minute.
Yes, I know.
I literally got all my legacies removed. But again...
Just walk up to him. Skill issue.
L. Honestly, you're opposite of slang right now.
Us, honestly?
But yeah, Sam realizes the wound on his neck isn't closing, and John's like, it's not going to. The Shadow Moog comes back and is going back and forth with them, toying with them, because, like, all the lights are off and all that.
So this wood thorn thing's whole power is it cannot be healed.
Yeah, the Voron noose is what it's. But yeah, I just call it the magic tree.
Yeah.
Rope. It's too much.
Tree rope.
But the Shadow Moog's going, like, back and forth fucking with them, and then Sam goes, lights, turn on, right as he's transporting, so he's, like, cut in half. And they're like, cool, that's 2 out of 4 of them dead. We've got the Thin Moog, Shadow Moog, we just need Pike and Moog. And they're like, OMG. Pike and Moog's like, I'm right here.
Hi, guys.
Hey. And they're like, John and Sam are, like, ahead of him a little bit, and they run into Walker and the remaining alive military force.
He's not at Eclipse yet, right? Just... Keep going.
I think it was a blaster. It's always a damn blaster. But then Lawson directs, like, the twins that have been staying with him this whole time to use their legacies. And that's when we realize Caleb is actually the only real person, and that his twin was just a multiply of him. He's able to multiply himself.
Oh, cool.
Which is fun, but not really effective for this Pike and Moog.
I mean, get one stuck in his mouth.
Yeah. I think they disappear when they're like critically injured. Then Daniela, with her Medusa eyes, is able to fuck up the Pike and Moog and, like, turn it into stone. And she's like, I'm not about to be your guys' resident monster killer.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you already are.
Can you guys figure shit out?
Literally. Luckily, Malcolm's still alive with the Chimera and the translator guy, but these are, like, the only folks still alive out of this whole base. And when they, like, get to the top, Five's still there, and he's like, are you gonna lock me up again?
What if
John's
we
like,
don't?
I don't think so. But that's when they realize that the bombardment of Earth has begun.
Yeah.
So back to 6.
Just put the noose around them and, like, have them wear it. So
have
if
who
you
wear
need
it?
5.
Oh yeah.
So if they need it, it's
can
just right there.
Bloop. Yeah. No, they don't do that. 6's perspective, they don't really have time to mourn the dead. They pick up the group of folks who are alive, and they are like, now's the time to plan the coordinated attack. So they go back to Niagara, and John's like, cool, we've got the element of surprise. You guys do that coordinated attack thing. We're going to go to West Virginia and destroy the base and the Anubis.
Yeah, the mountain.
Like, yeah, and the Anubis is, like, the master warship.
Okay.
Lawson,
is Raw on that?
Raw's in the mountain, but that's where he would have been if he was on a warship.
Okay.
Lawson's like, if this fails, FYI, most countries are going to surrender.
Yeah.
And John's like, you do what you got to do. My goal is to kill Raw.
I'm trying to save my people, so...
Yeah. I'm
going to keep trying to kill him. You can give up, but...
Yeah. L, honestly.
Yeah. If you're pansies like that, it's fine, but...
That's not how we do it down here in West Virginia.
Okay.
Thank you. Marina stitches up John's neck.
I didn't really.
What's up?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
But again, she's not actually medically trained, so it's like really nasty. And his other injuries have healed, but reminder, he has not slept at all. Mm. So John gives like
Can he heal himself through exhaustion?
No.
Okay. Because
that would be nice.
There's an anime.
Oh, yeah?
A really good one.
Called what?
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah.
And one of the guys that has healing kit heals himself through exhaustion. So
that would be useful. I need that right now.
Stay perfectly
active during the fights.
Yeah.
I need that right now.
Yeah.
Give that to me.
Okay.
We went to the doctor's this morning. Oh my god, I'm so tired. That's it. We just went to the doctor's.
How are stairs for you?
Oh my god, horrible. John gives like a little speech to the rest of the human guard that are still alive, and he's like, if we don't make it back, you're in charge. And then he like doles out the fucking chimera like their property, and he's like, you each get a chimera! Woo!
He's Oprahing those hoes out.
Yeah. Except for the chimera who's bonded with Sam, Stanley, and the chimera bonded with Adam, whose name is Dust.
What about BK?
BK's with John.
Okay. I was like, did you just give away BK?
BK's like, dude, what the fuck? Malcolm's like, I'm coming with you guys. Sam, your mom would kill me if I let you face the end of the world without an adult. Yeah? And then Sam and Malcolm call his mom to say, like, goodbye and stuff like that, which is kind of sweet. It's like, oh, yeah, we have, like, a lady to talk to.
Yeah, we have a whole person at home.
They're the only ones who have that, like. They head towards Niagara again, like I said, because everything's at Niagara, and getting ready to distribute the cloaking devices, with Ella directing the traffic. Sam and Six are a pair, and they head out, and basically they just use the stones to travel to different locations. Mm-hmm. And at each location, Six and Sam stop for like a single minute and have like a little mini vacation, since neither of them had like any free time.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's pretty cute.
Yeah.
But when they return, like, it's fighting time. How are you feeling about this last fight?
Okay.
You just ready?
Yeah. Let's get it over with.
Well, I wish it was that fast. They're headed toward West Virginia, and John can use his legacies again, but he can feel the overuse inside of him because, again, he hasn't slept in probably 5 days.
Yes.
They don't have a large enough crew to man all the weapons, which we talked about. Duh. So Malcolm is learning the basics from Five, who was apparently supposed to command one of the warships.
Okay.
John then turns the noose into a dagger somehow. He melts it.
Okay.
Like I said, magic tree. And then charges it with the Drainon thing.
The Drano.
Yes. And again, talk of possible, like, suicide ideations. But Nine pops up and he's like, hey, John, like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm sorry I dangled you from that building. I'm sorry I called you not Pittacus. Like, I'm so sorry. And John's like, what the fuck? And he's like, are you saying this because we might die? And Nine's like, oh, no. I'm leaving alive.
You might die.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not so sure about. And he's like, it's okay. Like, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But I will be leaving alive.
Yeah.
And I didn't want you to pass with my conscience not being clear.
Yeah.
Which I thought was so funny. Nine's like, I'm not.
Me?
As if.
I mean, you could have this. Like, you could do this yourself.
Yeah, good try. Marina gives him a little lecture about how Five's still the enemy and how they can't control him and how they shouldn't be turning into the Moogs. And John's like, I don't care right now.
Cool.
I literally don't care right now.
Cool.
They regroup and Ella pulls up a mind map. Like, she drew it, but she was able to grab, like, the different maps from the different people who have been in...
and like stitch them
West
together.
Virginia, stitch them together so that they have a more clear picture of where they need to go.
That's pretty cool.
All right. So the plan is 1, destroy the Anubis. John's gonna, while they're doing that, John's gonna head out and take down the skimmers.
Okay.
Invisibly and flying. The second part is Lex is going to use the ship to then take them into the force field around the mountain. Go ahead.
Give Five the dagger, and you could turn into the tree shit.
That would be cool. Then there's going to be 3 separate groups. 5's going to fly 6 and Adam to the control center to disable the shields, and then come back and fight with John, Marina, and 9, who are going to kill all the Mogs that are going to be outside. It's very long.
All of them but Ella, basically.
Yeah, and Ella, Sam, and Malcolm are going to be up coordinating the groups.
Okay.
And once the shields
They're
are down...
They're the man in the chair.
Men and Ella, who's a child. Once the shields are down, they're going to hit the mountain with their warship.
Okay.
Like, guns.
Shoot it up.
Yeah. So he heads out to scout the Anubis, but he's like, hey, Adam, come with me. And Adam's like, oh, what the fuck?
So the people on the ground are basically just looting this place of things they don't want blown up.
Well, yes, but then they do want to try to kill Ra himself.
Yeah.
So yes, though. Yeah.
But loot the shit you don't want blown up, head out, try to keep Ra in there.
Yeah.
Blow his ass up, and then fight him after that, because he's still definitely going to be alive.
Yeah, and he's still going to fucking overpower you guys. But he's like, hey, Adam.
Also, get a gun. Look for a gun anywhere. Because, again, you're not going to have your superpowers.
They've only got blasters now.
Cool.
Adam's like, hey, if things go bad, you need to come back to this warship. And no matter who's in there, you need to blow the mountain up.
Yeah.
And Adam's like, yo, what the fuck? Like, are you asking me this because you think I'm a Moog and I have no emotions? Like, I care about you guys. Mm-hmm. And John's like, no. I know it will sit on your conscience for the rest of your life. But I need, like, this needs to happen.
He needs to die.
Yeah, things need to happen.
He dies here.
So he then heads out and he's like,
oh, honestly, this is the best, like, forward thinking he has had. Mm-hmm. Like, if the Lorien people are survived, Ra has to die.
Yeah.
He dies here.
He's gone, yeah. He's like, I'm done. But as he heads out, he tells the military folks that they can open fire on their coordinated attack at each warship. Because, again, they have the force field things now. Mm-hmm. So how are you feeling? It's going to happen soon. And it's just going to be mostly fighting. And you know how I write fighting.
Yeah. I wish the other 2 books before this was this.
Yeah, was that.
Like, they could go through strategies, fail at going into a ship, like, find the weakness of the ships, and, like, exploit Ra, like, mentally or physically, and, like, stuff like that.
And how they're doing, how they're fucking with, like, the chain of command of the Mogadorians now.
But we bullshitted around for 2 whole books before this.
And then here we are now. And it's like, okay, cool. This is, like, the last 5 chapters.
Like, this is fun, but... Yeah. What was that other bullshit?
Yeah. I would have liked it in, like, how Red Rising's written. A little bit more, where it's like strategy and playing it out and stuff. No, instead they're just like, I need to go find number 8.
Where's 8? I need a punch.
So we're back to 6. In the warship they stole, 6 is pulling a pretty dastardly storm out of thin air. Dastardly. And it's obviously really hard. She's concentrating, like pulling lightning and tornadoes out. And Marina's freezing the rain as it goes down. And they, like, the Anubis is retreating but firing at them, and their ship is hit. So they use the exact same exact same plot again, where Sam temporarily turns the whole ship off and turns it back on. No, it's not.
That's the same joke. That's a joke. That's
kind of a joke.
We've on this podcast, we have never ever done the same joke twice,
which is hilarious.
Which is super meta.
Because we actually had to re-record this part.
Re-record this exact part. Because my microphone was off.
So we've never done that before,
though. Never.
Never recorded the same joke twice.
And we used the same joke. We, like, word for word. You guys aren't missing anything.
And it made us both laugh each time. Then Malcolm and Fi are shooting at the Anubis, and they can tell outside, like, John's taking the skimmers down. And then they just ram the shit out of the Anubis while 6's weather is hitting it. And finally, the shields are down and the Anubis falls and hits the force field. But because its force field is off, it explodes. And, like, kind of crumbles around the mountain.
So, going real Roman Navy with this.
I don't know about the Roman Navy. Why would you assume that I would know anything about the Roman Navy?
What's your Roman Empire, Blue?
Warrior Cats. I already posted a TikTok about it.
But their plan was to just ram into ships with a big spike on the front and then get on their ship.
That was kind of their military thing, too, is
Yeah, they were just like, we're really good at land fighting. What if we did that on boats?
Same thing. The Anubis explodes, and they pull their ship back up, and a ton of Mogs from inside the mountain come out to stare at like the Anubis exploding. They're like, "That's beloved leadership."
My dad,
my papa. Which, like, maybe because he genetically,
they're vat born. They probably are.
John fucks up the rest of the skimmers, and sees the Mogs down below getting pissed. And as they head back into the warship...
Guys, when do we knock it off?
When do we stop?
Guys, when do we stop? That's a beloved Wiener shit.
When do we... Not cool. Then they drop down into the mountain force field, and when they're in, they start fighting all these Mogs that came out, and Lexa gets the ship away. And then...
So these are crashed, but still in the sky.
What do you mean?
They crashed into each other.
Into the force field. Who crashed?
Okay, so my two fists are the one with the microphone's the big ship.
The Anubis.
And mine's...
The stolen warship.
And my... is the mountain.
Okay.
They went in down or just...
They hit the Anubis.
They hit the Anubis.
The Anubis fell. Their warship fell back up.
They're still
You have to talk into the microphone.
Okay.
They're still in air.
So the Anubis falls onto the mountain.
Yeah.
They're still in the air.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. So them hitting the Anubis was kind of like the boop, like the last little thing it needed.
Yeah.
And then they have another ship, Lexa's ship.
Okay.
And that's the one that's flying in.
It's just a little
it's
shift,
small,
right?
yeah. So again, the plan was that 6 and Adam go to fly into the control center with 5, and 5 pops back out.
Of the first ship?
No, of the mountain.
Of the mountain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. You there now?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it'd be really cool if we took more time to talk about this, no, this is what we get. So Adam okay, so they're in there. So Marina makes an igloo. John turns it to snow, and then they head in there while the shields are down, and their warship opens fires on the horde of Mogs.
On the mountain. Okay, on the
Mogadorians
Mogs
outside.
Around the mountain.
Yes.
Not in.
Correct.
And they are in the mountain.
Right. So 6 and Adam are still at the control center, while the rest of them, who are 9... Who's it? It's 9, 5...
John there?
John, Marina, BK.
Okay.
So there's 5 of them.
If you hear some, rabid scritching at a door,
that's stinky.
Yeah, tune that out.
He misses me. Which is weird, because I try to guilt trip him to love me, and he, literally doesn't love me, but that's fine.
Do you think that's picking up?
I do think it's picking up. Where was I? So 6 and Adam... So 9 and 5 kind of go ahead because they're macho alpha boys. Okay. And 9 gets injured by another augmented Trueborn, who is quickly killed. Mm-hmm. But this is when 5 fully realizes Raw's that was disgusting what I just saw. That augmented Trueborn. Something's wrong with this man to think he can have that power, and he's got to die. So I guess now's the time.
Okay.
They poke their head, so they're kind of over a vat of the black ooze, and they smell rotten decay, and they're like, what's going on? And then they turn a corner, and there's
rotten decay,
human bodies piled.
Oof.
Lots of them, and it's mostly teenagers.
It's all the
that Russia was. They assume it's the
Russian kids,
which of course pisses them all off.
For sure,
and it's a lot of people. So that's gross. And then from the same ooze lake, Raw emerges. And Justin, I have a picture for you. We kind of...
Is this in Dune when he comes out of the sludge?
No, it's like this from Princess Mononoke.
Okay.
So
it's noodly.
No, let me fucking talk for a second.
So it has noodles.
Justin. So it's from a Studio Ghibli movie, Princess Mononoke.
Honestly, I think our audience and the Princess Mononoke
I know,
audience
they're pretty,
is a circle.
It's a circle. But basically when at the end of the movie, there's this old white boar who gets, becomes a demon. Mm-hmm. And all these worms start poking out of him, mm-hmm. like black oozy worms. I imagine the opposite is what happens to Ra. So the worms are going into, like, trying to get into his body.
Okay. And that's the goop? That's what
the black ooze goopiness is.
Okay. I always imagine it like ferrofluid, like that black oil that you can move with a magnet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Okay, I can see that. But the worms is how I imagine it moving, like the physical movement of it. And I also really fucking hate that part of the movie. Yeah. So the worms are trying to go into Ra, and he looks fine, even better than he did before. And he's like, OMG, hey gang, so glad you could join us. Like, and he starts giving a speech because he's a narcissistic bad guy. And John's like, literally shut the fuck up.
Hey, dude. Hey, dog. We're here to kill you. Shut the fuck up.
So John hits him with the dagger right off the bat.
Yeah.
The Drano. And Ra's like, okay.
The Drano.
The Drano dagger.
He's in a vat of power still, right?
He's, like, kind of near the edge of the vat of the black ooze. Okay. Which is what we learn, like, when the dagger hits him, he's like, and?
Cool.
And then he, like, pulls it out, and he's like, you've cut me off from my Loric powers, but not from the powers that I've given myself. Mm. And then the black ooze, like, covers up the hole. Okay. Which, again, the Vernon Noose dagger isn't supposed to be able to be healed by anything. Yeah. So, he's like, and? Mm-hmm. I was like, good try. So, he's even more powerful.
Cool. He leveled up.
And there's the 5 of them, because BK's here. So he's like, cool, that's great.
Can BK turn into anything that breathes fire or some shit?
I don't think so.
Burn this motherfucker alive.
Could Bernie turn into a Dungeons and Dragons character?
That's true. He has seen them and knows
of them. And John could give him, like, images and descriptions of it. Mm-hmm. Like, straight to his brain.
Yeah.
So. Ra's kicking their asses. He actually manages to, like, grab 5 and, like, choke the shit out of them.
Do you think John's superpower absorption thing can work on memories? Because he could get shape-shifting, too. No, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, I do, actually. I do think it could work that way.
Yeah.
I do, personally. Because it doesn't seem like he has to, like, see it in person. It just seems like he has to because he was able to get Daniela's stone vision before Daniela got her stone vision.
And so he can get the powers from people. It's like the tech thing where he just has to
picture it and, like, yeah.
No, Sam's thing.
Oh, yeah. Well,
where he's like, if he understands the circuit, he can do it. He could
probably do it, yeah.
Yeah, so he just needs to understand the power, and he has it.
Yes, and you have to think that there are more kids showing up with abilities, so it's not like he's going to have to, like, go back and actually find these, like, memories. Because remember when he was having his visions that we've stopped, apparently?
By not sleeping.
Well, no, like, the visions he was having with Henri, where he was, like, actively in the battle, at the wartime, at the genocide. Like, remember, we haven't done those. Because I
forgot about those,
I know! So it's not like he has to do something like that. It's just, like, he would have to hang out with one of the new powered kids and go from there.
So he can live forever because of Ella.
Probably, yeah, if he was able to feel like he mastered that.
Yeah.
I don't think he would, though. And speaking of that, there's this thing at the end that we're gonna have to talk about a lot in depth, so we should just keep going because I'm like mad again thinking about it. You'll see. So Ra grabs 5 and chokes him out, like, till unconsciousness, and then throws him into the black ooze and holds him down till he stops moving.
Radical.
And they don't know if he's alive, but they, like, make the assumption he's dead because duh. And he's like, cool, let's fucking start this fight. Cool. So, now we're time hopping a little bit back.
So, wait, who did he just kill?
5.
5.
Yeah. 5. Okay. we're kind of doing a little mini time hop back to when Six and Adam turned the shields off.
Okay.
So just like 20 minutes earlier.
POV switch with time rewind.
Yeah, so we're at 6. So because Six and Adam were supposed to go back to the ship after this, and they have not shown up at the ship.
Yeah.
They're invisible. They're in like the command center, and there's a bunch of Trueborn Moogs in the control room, and they like pull guns on each other and start to shoot because like they're freaking out about the Anubis.
Yeah.
And that's what Adam says they were all fighting over Ra, and they're like, there's one female Moog who isn't disintegrating at all, and they're like, she probably could have gotten on our side. And Adam's like, you're not going to find your allies in the heat of battle.
No.
Which I thought was pretty interesting and agreeable. They turn the shields off.
Like, until that adrenaline wears off, they're not switching sides.
No.
Like,
and the only reason that Rex guy did was because he's worked with Adam before.
Yeah.
So, Adam's like, hey, Six BT dubs, John asked me to blow this whole shit up. Six is like, okay, and he's like, yo, what the fuck do you mean, and? We're in here. And she's like, okay, like, I don't care. Like, let's go. She's like, this is battle. And before they get going, Six is stabbed in the back.
So they're on a self-destruct mission, basically?
Pretty much. Well, not Six and Adam, but the rest of them. Who, again, don't know that John is actively sacrificing them.
Yeah.
Which is kind of BS. I'm sure they would have agreed to it.
Yeah.
But he kept it a secret, which is kind of annoying.
Well, not 9.
No, nine's fine. Nine will survive.
I'm gonna head out.
9's gone, dude. Where was I? So 6 is stabbed in the shoulder, between the shoulder blades, and then an object protrudes out from under her left breast, which is a lung, I think, that it gets. And this is Fury stabbing her with her tentacles. And she's like, oh my god, thank god it's you. I wanted it to be you two so fucking bad.
I wanted to kill you motherfuckers.
And Dust the Chimera, trigger warning, takes action first and starts viciously attacking Fury. But Fury takes her tentacles and continuously stabs the shit out of Dust until...
It's a puddle.
Until he's basically holes. And he falls silent, and Adam screams. And Ella's in her head. She says, hey, I'll send the others your way, but Six is like, no, we're not priority. Make sure Ra is dead.
Yeah. Kill Ra.
I love Six.
How are we not on the same page of we're killing this guy?
And so Six chases Adam and Fury, who've been fighting during this Ella head talk. And she's bleeding profusely into her lung, presumably.
Yeah, drowning.
Yes. And Six is able to get a telekinetic hold on Fury so that Adam can finish her off. But before she can, she's shot by a blaster in the back by the female Mogadorian who they thought had died. And Six is down.
That's why you always
headshot him.
Always double check.
Always. Fury... Okay, Six is down. Fury is stabbing Adam. And Fury gets the drop on Adam. And she, like, puts her tentacle through him. And she's like, oh my gosh, I didn't expect you to have, like, the Loric spark. She's like, that's great for me. And he's like, yeah. Because he's crazy right now. He's like, okay, Fury, like, that's great. But did you also forget that I, too, am a Trueborn Moog? And he shoves his hand in the goop. And the goop comes into him. Oof. And so he leaves Fury, like, goopless, augmentationless. He's got the Loric and the augment, and he like hits the ground with his foot, which is how he does his power, and a huge seismic wave opens like a terrible hole in the cavern, and they both fall in. And Six can't...
I just imagine him holding her by the collar, falling into this...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Most impressive of all of them,
yeah,
in my opinion. And Six, again, she's completely bleeding out, is unable to grab him with her telekinesis. We switch back to John. They throw everything they can at Ra, and none of it's hitting him. Or, relatively, it does hit him, but it doesn't affect him. He's healing just as fast with this black goop.
So he can't take away their powers right now because he doesn't have the Loric power.
Yes, so the Veron Noose dagger...
stopped him from taking their powers.
Which is good.
Yeah.
I mean, overall. But it doesn't seem to make that much of a difference.
Well, he could be twice as powerful.
True. Ra does end up putting BK in like a little bubble of the ooze. And he's like, I never got to finish my experiments with the Chimera. Don't worry, we're good on.
I'm taking this for later.
BK's good. 9 goes for Ra with the dagger again, and Ra's ooze grabs 9's arm and basically decomposes his arm up to the shoulder.
Jesus.
And so therefore 9's kind of out for the count. Like it disintegrates.
Yeah.
There's nothing to heal. It's gone.
Yeah. Unless you can grow this guy a new arm.
Yeah. Which would be a miracle, even by their standards, probably. John's like, shit, like, we can't win. So he, like, tries to tell Adam to blow shit up, but he can't get to Adam or Six. And eventually he's like, Sam, you do it. You blow it up. And Sam's like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. Marina is actively healing 9 when, like, Ra somehow while she's using her healing ability,
she gets yeeted.
Hits Ra.
Okay.
While with that ability activated, and he seems like it affected him.
Ooh, so it's the opposite.
Yes,
now.
To heal the ooze out of him.
Yes.
Make him a real Lorik again. And that, John's like, perfect, we've got it. Marina, take 9, get out. Mm-hmm. Go find 6 and Adam, get out. And
doesn't Marina? She's the only other one with healing power.
Yeah.
Fucking.
So what John does, he sends them out, and he's like, Sam, everybody's heading out. Will
I guess
you blow
she
it up
does
soon?
like have the least combat.
Combat readiness. She seems like she would be good.
Well, combat experience.
True. Well, because until she gained her ice powers.
She was held in the back. Yeah. So she's not good at hand to hand at all.
She's kind of just good at being a bitch.
Yeah.
I don't like Marina very much. So everybody's heading out. And John and Ra are like, it's just us, motherfucker. Just us. So John kind of like... how I imagine it is, it's weird.
You're locked in here with me, baby. Ooh. What is that? The Spider-Man... Macho Man Randy Savage and Spider-Man?
Yeah, that's a good one. They're cage matching it.
Yeah.
But John, wraps his leg...
I've got you for 3 minutes.
It takes a little bit longer than that. Wraps his legs around Ra and puts his hands on his head.
Yeah.
And starts throwing all of his healing abilities at Ra. Everyone's in a bit healing himself, and Ra is retaliate. John's legs crushed. He's disemboweled. He's in, and so every once in a while he just puts enough healing energy into him that he's like, I need to stay alive until Ra's gone. Yeah. That's it. And as he's doing this, the bombs start falling, and he's like, thank God. And he lets his legacies just go until he feels like there's nothing left.
He just explodes with all the energy he has.
Yeah, ish. Well, we don't know, because then it's Six's perspective, obviously, because John's either dead or unconscious. Those are the options. She's brought back to consciousness. He
doesn't really have a point of view right now.
Yeah. She's brought back to consciousness by Ella in her head, and Ella's like, you need to go. And Six is kind of like, huh?
When you're late for the school bus.
All right, been there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that it?
Yep.
Okay, thanks. So she looks around. Dust's body is gone. She navigates her way and bumps into Marina and 9, and she learns that 5 is dead and that John is still down there with Ra. And 6 goes, Marina, heal me. I'm going back in. She's like, stupid John can't martyr himself just for fun.
Yeah.
Fuck him. Honestly. And Marina still takes 9 back to the
ship. Doesn't get to die.
Literally, he's not allowed. 6 heads back into things, and she finds John, his body obviously like meat grinder, disgusting level. Yeah. Bones poking through, and he doesn't move. He's gone. She turns to find another form, like a withered old man, who's Ra. And she's like, she has this little speech. She's like, fuck you. Bitch takes the Veron dagger, decapitates him.
Nice.
Holds his head in her hand and copies it. She's done, throws it. Which, John wouldn't have done that.
No.
Not even in his vicious, not great attitude nowadays.
No.
He wouldn't have done that.
No. He doesn't have it in him.
Mm-mm. And then because of Ra's death, the ooze bubble with BK in it
pops.
So BK's there now next to John, who is able to give a breath. So they're like, he's alive. So,
Marina.
6 gives him like a little kiss, and then Bernie turns into like a horse thing, and they exit. And that's technically the end of the book until the epilogue.
Oh my fucking god!
How do you feel
in the
so
book.
far?
Put it in the book.
How do you feel?
Pretty good ending. I hope John dies. That'd be a good ending too.
He doesn't, but 6 decapitating Raw.
Yeah.
Fucking fire.
Fucking fire.
She's
dude.
the only one who would have actually done it. I feel like 9 and 5 would have played with him too long. John would have been like, well, now he's an old man. What am I supposed to do? 6, nope, dead. You're gone.
Yeah.
All right.
She's the only one who would just hack it off right there.
100%. Like, I know this will kill him.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
And she won't feel guilty about it.
No.
At all.
No.
Nor should she.
Yeah. No, yeah. Ella couldn't have. Ever. John would have, like, spared him for the greater lesson.
And he'd be like, well, imprison him. For what?
And why?
So, I think it's overall a pretty good one.
Yeah. 9 and 5 would have just tried to, like, play with them.
Mm-hmm. I think 9 maybe would have done it, but he would have done something pretty sadistic with the head, I think. He would have wanted to, like, keep it or something.
Percy Jackson mailed it to his relatives.
To the relatives. So the epilogue is 1 year later. It's John, his perspective.
Did you see the thing that was like, hey, you remember how that little kid's playing Percy? He cuts off Medusa's head and sends it to them.
Sends it to them. He killed it with that.
Yeah.
John is living in the cave that 8 originally showed them with all the prophecies.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been scrubbing them off the wall. Apparently Ella joined him a while back. She's now like a 13-year-old who goes to school in the village. And she encourages John to start tracking people down for his purpose thing.
Cool.
He starts flying around the world. He visits this academy, which is where the UN decided to send the Human Guard. And they're still looking to, like, what to do with them.
Real good idea to
put...
when UN puts...
people in a space.
It never
has gone wrong.
Never goes wrong.
Mm-hmm. But 9's there, and 9, like, charges John when he sees him. He's like, fuck you after you for disappearing. Like, blah, blah, blah. He still doesn't have an arm. He did lose it. He sees Lexa, and he gives them each a Loric pendant. Mm-hmm. He visits Daniela next in New York, who's working in construction. And we learn that her mom is alive, which is good news. Walker's on his list, and as he finds her, he watches her assassinate somebody.
Cool.
And he's like, what's going on? And the person had, like, little black vials of that ooze that Roz had. So it's her job now. He also gives her a Loric pendant. He takes a Mo to remember, like, what happened after the battle. After 6 and BK took him out. They found Adam on their way out, which is sad. He was cradling Dust's body. Who used the last bit of energy to turn into something that could pull him out of the crack and drag him out of safety, or into safety, which is sad.
Did Adam live?
Adam did live, and Dust is passed. Actually, what? Speaking of Adam, he's in a Moog prison in Alaska. Which definitely does give bad UN putting people in one space vibes. Where most of the Trueborn Moogs were sent after the war. Adam is teaching these Mogadorians to renounce the teaching of beloved leader, even though he...
is he imprisoned there, or he's working there?
He is not imprisoned. Adam himself is not.
He's working there trying to, like, reform these people.
Yeah, so he's like, he technically got pardoned. Mm-hmm. But he feels that his work should be there with his people, showing them the new things.
Because, like, are there Moogs anywhere else?
No, they're all in Alaska.
Yeah, like, in the universe.
Yeah, they're all in Alaska.
Yeah, so they're not on the Moog planet, they're not on Lorien, both of those are... Yeah,
gone,
so much. He's doing the same thing they are, of, like...
reforming his people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is brave of him because he's not seen kindly by the majority of the Trueborns.
Makes sense.
Yeah, duh. John attempts to go back to Paradise to speak to Sarah's family and possibly Mark's, which honestly, no. But he can't. Because, 2 reasons. Emotionally, he's not ready. to neither of them are there anymore.
Yeah.
He stops by Malcolm's, who's back with his wife, which is sweet. And he gives him a pendant, and he heads out to find Sam and Six, who are on their European tour vacation. They've been doing the vacation for a whole year. Malcolm's like, hey, Sam's got to finish high school. John's like, not high priority. John doesn't speak to them because they're in the water having fun. Sex. But he leaves them pendants.
By their clothes?
Yeah, pretty much. With a note. It takes him a while to find Marina, but when he does, she's in the middle of the islands in the Caribbean.
How is he find? Is it with the tablet or?
No fucking clue.
Cool.
Maybe telepathy. She has been on a crazy person search for 5, who somehow survived the drowning.
Okay.
She found him a while ago on a little island, and for about a week, she's just been coming to stare at him, deciding what to do.
Yeah.
Because a while back, John was like, I have decided he'll live for now, but after you can decide.
Yeah.
And she's like, please, I don't want this responsibility. So they both kind of just decide not to bother him.
Yeah. Let him be. Yeah.
Marina comes back to the cave with John, and they kiss. And it's supposed to be romantic.
No. They were the most sibling relationship.
Literally. And this is what pissed me off. Like, it just feels so unnatural.
Yeah.
And bad.
Like, was there any...
No.
Any...
No. Besides the fact that they were both close because they lost somebody.
All of them lost somebody.
I know. It drives me bonkers. I was so mad. I was like, okay, like, they're getting the gang back together. John's doing... And then they kissed, and I was like, what the... I was like, what's the point of reading this?
Yeah.
For these two who've had no spark.
Nothing.
Yeah. And then they kiss. Anyway, the gist of what John was doing was he feels like restarting the elders, but not with like numbers or specific positions, just with communism. The people. Yes. So that's the book. That's the end. How do you feel?
There's just so many fucking things I would change about this book.
I know, me too. I really think it has the potential. The plot's awesome.
Lore's pretty cool.
I think the lore's really well thought out, except for the two things, like the John's visions that disappear and the blasters.
Yeah, it's just... The general idea of the lore is really cool. I think if it was taken in a different direction...
If this was an anime, this would be lit.
Oh, yeah.
I would watch the shit out of this as an anime.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. You keep talking. You tell me your opinions. So you'd change some things, obviously.
No, that's really it.
It had potential, really, truly. I still think it's a good book, personally. Like, a good kid's book where you're not going to pick it apart like we are.
Yeah. Like, Twilight, I don't feel like...
There was no saving.
Is redemption. There's no redemption there.
Yeah. Hunger Games, I still think is really good, even though you think is meh. Yeah, Twilight, I think was no... I think this could have had... I don't know. And then the kiss at the end... It's just so wrong.
Yeah, enforced. And
it's just such the wrong way to end the book.
Yeah.
Because it's literally like they kiss and then he's like, cool, look at my table. I made a table. And it's like, wait, what'd you guys just do?
They fully went hard Jesus on him, didn't they?
Yeah.
He turns into a fucking carpenter.
Well, it's made out of stone, I think. But yeah, he turns into somebody who makes tables and chairs. Yeah, so that was all the Lorik books. Well, all the main series. There's more. We're not reading them. I can't.
Maybe one day we'll start a Patreon and there'll be like a goal for $1,000 of...
The only one I could do is the one of Dustin Adams' story.
Yeah.
Because that was cute. That little bit there.
$10,000 and we'll do it.
10,000 and we'll do it. Bet. Well, follow us we're on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, pretty much anywhere you get podcasts. We do TikToks occasionally. Not really. We don't really do more social media.
Yeah, our social media manager's really slacking.
Yeah, it's almost like she's 9 months pregnant. Maybe we'll get Beast to do it. Beast can Gen Alpha our TikTok. Actually, that sounds horrible. She'd be so fucking mean. What was I gonna say? Leave us a review. 5 stars or 0 stars. Those are your options. Sorry, not sorry. Anything else to add?
Sorry, not sorry.
YOLO, am I right? Just showing our age. Because I felt like sorry, not sorry was like a millennial thing to say.
Yeah.
My name's Blue. I love to read.
My name's Justin. That was a bad end.